Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast with Kevin and Chuck. So today it's going to be a little bit different, a little more casual. Enjoy the atmosphere. What I was kind of thinking about this week is the satisfaction of action. You look around and you see all these younger generation, and they're staring at their phone and they're on Facebook and Instagram and watching YouTube, or they sit at home and binge Netflix, and watch 27 episodes. When we were younger kids, you had commercials and something worth watching. It'd only come on, for a half hour every other night or something. It wasn't like, there was a million options for TV and you could just sit and stare and kind of lose your mind. Well, one of the things I always think about, and don't get me wrong, I say kids, guess what? A lot of people lose their mind staring at endless, I've wasted a Saturday where I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I just want to sit on the couch. Mm-hmm. And we all do that. You get into a slump or whatever, or, maybe, I find like with my phone, it's weird. I have no interest in staring at my phone, but when the old lady's like reading something or whatever, she gets annoyed when I put on the shooter movie on the TV and I'm doing that next to her. And so you're just kind of like sitting there bored, like, all right, what am I going to do? And, you end up turning, I'll look on Facebook or see what's there or whatever. So we all do it. I'm not like playing the high and mighty card, like, I'm above Facebook or whatever. Or, I'm above Facebook, but Instagram, that's for serious people or, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's not the point. And you know what? You can lose yourself in books. You can lose yourself in watching Doomsday Preppers on TV, or some Alaska Wilder. I don't have cable, so I don't really know anymore.
You don't know any of the shows.
I used to be all on that. I know there was some Alaska show I was entertained by. Or I could watch 4 hours straight of Gas Monkey Garage, whatever the hell that one was, right? Because you're like, I like fixing cars and doing that. But we don't end up doing the do, And so I was thinking, like, the satisfaction of action. Mm-hmm. And what I mean, like, I'll be going somewhere and I'll see somebody, like, out putting shingles, re-shingling their roof. And I'm like, I just want to go help them and do that. And not because, like, I want to help the guy because I care. Because I don't care about that guy or whatever. And he's probably got his own money and his own job and screw him. But I just want to do something and have that accomplishment. And I think that's a big part of what, like, the kids and the younger rites of passage growing up. And they can't relate because, like, you actually get joy when you finish something.
Right.
And when I do projects like, say you're a kid, you put up a shed in the backyard. When you do something like that, now a lot of these projects take money and like that, and that kind of sucks because you don't want to shell out a bunch of money all the time. But when you do, if I could just do jobs all the time, like, and finish something,
right,
I'd be the happiest kid in the world. I mean, if every day I could get up and go for 8 hours, or some days even 20 hours, just go knock out putting together this building or putting a bathroom on somebody's house, you get satisfaction. People always have the glory idea of like cowboys, and you think like, oh, they're out mending fences or driving cattle or doing something. I don't even know that it's so much the joy of being a cowboy and a horse, and they're tough in the leather and gloves and man things, but it's just like they have something to do, and like you have a purpose, and when you're done with it, something of value happened. And I think that people really lose the value. Right. And I think that satisfaction is what a lot of people are missing now. And I think that's why you're getting more depression and things like that. And not that I'm trying to be the philosopher for everybody's life, but you need that satisfaction. And once you start doing stuff, like I know this last year, my wife and I started really getting out and doing a lot of hiking. Mm-hmm. And it's not, and again, I mean, you're not ending up with a big accomplishment of something with hiking, right. But it's like, what, I did something, but then you feel good about it. And you're like, yeah, not only was I not at home sitting with a bag of potato chips on the couch, but I actually, I went and climbed that mountain or did it. You're a big outdoor guy, Kevin, and you get out and you do stuff. And it's like, man, when you really, get something and nail it, but it doesn't even have to be like spending money,
Yeah, no, there's a garage full of, at the beginning of the spring, I had a garage just full of shit. Full of stuff that, I might use it someday. I can't throw this out. I had to suck it up. And I just got done using up all my extra shit.
Nice.
So all my projects are done now. It's on to the next thing.
But like maybe you set up a gun range in the backyard. And sometimes that's you and a shovel.
Right.
Or you and a lawnmower and, or you collect tires for a while and make a nice backdrop. Or maybe you have awesome equipment. Like, man, if you had a freaking dozer or a skid steer or something that you could go move some dirt with.
Maybe you already have an embankment somewhere in your yard.
Whatever. And then you go out and you really learn how to shoot. Or maybe, you buy some throwing knives or throwing axes and you spend 3 weekends, 10 weekends to really master, a skill. Some of the guys are buddies over in Australia and Europe and like Phil and Hamish, all these guys, they talk about like slingshots. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you take it to the next level, and instead of just staring at your TV, and I don't know that these guys stare at their TV, they might be badass outdoor adventurers. Mm-hmm. But, for the rest of us who sometimes get sucked into bullshit, maybe you spend a little time outdoors and master that skill. Mm-hmm. And, maybe you have shitty rain weather. Maybe you master freaking slingshot in the hallway, and then you get to do a new project and sheetrock the wall after.
That's right.
That's whatever. Right. But that's the kind of thing is like, really pick up something. And it's cool to do the research. And there is so much information out there. And, you can, learn so much watching YouTube or whatever. I mean, if you really utilize the time, you can learn a lot, but doing.
Right.
Is
if you learn something and you're not applying it, you're missing out on that satisfaction.
And that's it. You don't get the satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, that's something to me is it really brings me, like, I'm really happy when I finish a big project, even if it's putting together guns or whatever. That's one of the things you guys hear me get passionate about and talking about all the time. Oh, I put together this AR-15 and I had trouble with this part, and then I had to do the next step and go and call these guys, and I went 5 ways. But, now I completely understand how that system works or whatever. But that's my thing. Your thing doesn't have to be AR-15s. Your thing could be, I really am going to, master the plumbing and redo, a new addition with my house. And I wanted to tackle the bathroom and I'm going to get there and redo it. I know the house I bought, the guy before me lived in it for, I think, 20 years or something. And he had a bathroom where it had the drain hole in the floor for a toilet and a drain hole for a tub and a hot water and a cold water line coming into the room. And that was it. Concrete floor and bare studs for 20 years. And you're like, I mean, you jump on that. And I think when I bought the house, it had a tub in the room.
It just wasn't
and like
up.
a toilet sitting in it. It was just, so it wasn't even like, I think I had to spend like $100
right
to, various fittings or whatever to get shit to happen. But now you can
poop in your basement.
But I mean, if that, and I mean, I don't even know that the guy was lazy or whatever, but the point is, like, instead of sitting on my ass and doing nothing, and, a lot of projects that we build up in our mind are such a big deal and take so long.
Right.
You can really knock out in like 20 minutes. Like how often, you probably see it more in other people. We don't see these things in ourselves.
Yeah.
So, your kids, you're like,
this motherfucker.
You need to freaking just do a load of laundry and get it folded and put it away,
Uh-huh.
And what's that? Maybe 20 minutes of actual work?
Right.
I understand the washer and dryer take an hour and a half or whatever. But physical labor that you're doing, it's like 20 minutes. But it's like, oh, I got that done today. That's what I did. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear from my kids. Or oh, did you bring in the garbage cans? Oh,
so far away.
I got that in all day. Or I have homework for college. And it's something that when you look at it realistically, all right, if I sat down and did this paper, if I read it and I write what I know, you're maybe a 40-minute thing, maybe even an hour and a half, but how it can take a college kid like all day or even 3 days. I mean, sometimes we had there was a project the kid didn't have enough time to do in 3 weeks. It was due. And I have no time to do that. And then the jerk asshole professor supposedly, moves up the deadline to now it's due tomorrow. And mysteriously they get it done that night.
Right.
No problem. And you're like, wait. But
you couldn't do it the whole time?
Couldn't do it in 3 weeks, but you somehow did it in a night?
Well, this bit me a few weeks ago. Same sort of thing. I got up in the morning. It was Saturday morning. It was beautiful outside for, first time in a long time.
Yeah, well, you know what? The thing is, in New York, that's like the rain and the cold finally stopped. You have one weekend, and then it's humid as fuck the rest of the summer, and you can't go out again.
Right.
So you missed it if you missed this weekend.
And so I made a pot of coffee. I sat in the bed with the wife. We watched the news, made some breakfast. By the time I got outside, it was 1 o'clock. I got 2 hours of work in, and I had to go and do something else. Mm-hmm. And that really kind of pissed me off, just because I wasted the whole day just not doing nothing. I didn't do anything else. I didn't enjoy my morning relaxing.
Right. It's like, so I'm not well rested the next day. You still felt like crap when you went back to work, right?
Right.
You weren't like, oh, I'm so rested now.
I feel so much better now.
Energized. Recharged.
No.
Right?
The next day the alarm went off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, God
damn, it's again. No. And that's the thing. It's just, you let it consume you. But when you start, and that's, I think, like why everybody loves summer, is because you get that extra couple hours a day,
Right.
The sun comes down at like 8:30, sometimes even 9 o'clock at night. You get those weekends, right?
Yep.
And it's like, man, I get home from work and I can still do shit. So now I can cut the lawn on a Wednesday night, and I can do, whatever on, get shit squared away. And you just mysteriously have so much more energy. And you're like, yeah, because I can just go do. And I just wonder how much more we could kick ass. And also how much better we'd feel about ourselves. And how much better would your kids feel about themselves if they were out doing shit, know? And just doing shit.
But he got to level 50 on that solitaire game, so...
And that's, like, half the games or the things we watch. I mean, like, like I'll listen to like talk radio or something in the van, and you guys know I always try and do audio books, and I'm always trying to learn, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are always trying to learn or be at least really well entertained, because that's why you're listening to this podcast, because we're awesome,
right?
But you're also hopefully gaining knowledge and different things and better ways to approach stuff. But you're doing that. Like, I'll listen to talk radio here and there, and it's like, fuck, if I listen for 3 weeks in a row or I don't, it doesn't make a difference, because nothing changes. Like, it doesn't, they're always talking about the same bullshit, and you don't even notice, I just finished Atlas Shrugged, right? And not that made me any bit of a better person listening to that or whatever, but I didn't listen to talk radio for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And if I turn it back on, they're still talking about the same shit and nothing's changed. And I don't mean that. I just mean it's the same thing when we're staring at Facebook or whatever. And I know I got the Facebook group on for Prepping Badass and whatever, and I want you guys to go over there, but I don't really care, man. If you go out and do good stuff, you do what you got to do, If you got time to listen to the podcast and you have some downtime where you're sitting and waiting for somebody to load the back of your 18-wheeler, mm-hmm. then you want to scroll through the Facebook and put up shit, do it. But I also don't fault you if you get off your ass and go, do awesome shit. Mm-hmm. And just, I think you'll feel better about yourself. And I know I do when I do it. And I'm not preaching from the high and mighty ground, because I get sucked into shit all the time.
Yeah.
I just know when I do stuff, I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like pumped all week. Like, yeah, I got out and got shit done. Or, oh, I was out, set up the whole garden beds or whatever. Everything's ready to go now. Or, I got all that stuff planted or mm-hmm. whatever. So I just thought, maybe do a little refocus as we start, the beginning of summer. You guys plan out your lives and your adventure here, and maybe get your kids off their ass a little bit, and get them to do shit, and get you off your ass and me off my ass.
You can actually spend time with your kids, teaching them shit,
whoa.
And that's also an accomplishment.
I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, what ideas, and we might have some suggestions of what to do. And she's like, yeah, different ways of starting a fire and get people out there, or go camping with your family. Instead of, everybody staring at their phone all weekend, what if, you go camping for one night? There's lots of local, public campgrounds, stuff that's really cheap or free.
Yeah.
I
did a little bit of searching, and there's, at least in this area, there's a lot of free camping.
Mm-hmm. And state parks, and a lot of them even have creeks and stuff that you can go get your ass wet. And
that's right.
The whole thing. I mean, it can be good for not much money and mm-hmm. whatever. And there's a lot of cool skills you guys can be out there learning.
Yeah, that's I figured out that I'm really terrible at starting a fire with a bow drill.
Mm.
Took me about 4 hours to figure out how bad I was at it.
And then you realized if there's just a little Corona left in the bottle and you angle it right with the sun, you just... No.
I don't think that's true.
No. What if I pee in a bag?
That one is also not true.
Oh.
I mean, I'm willing to give it a try.
All right.
I mean, it seems like it's pretty hazardous, though, closing that bag up when it's already full of pee. But
little dripping, whatever. To each his own, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I learned a lot of mistakes. I mean, just getting out and camping and hiking, you learn all sorts of things that you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty.
We beat that horse.
Solid advice.
All right.
Now I know we did a show a few weeks ago about disguises, and we talked about facial recognition in it.
We did.
Somebody has come out with supposedly.
Okay, so alleged.
A developer alleges that he's come out with facial recognition, and he's been running it through faces on
YouPorn,
adult websites. Yeah, Pornhub and YouPorn, all those things,
whatever they are, RedTube, whatever. Yeah,
and running them through to match them to faces on social media.
Yes.
Now this is supposedly so that he can alert these people that they're in porn movies. It seems like there's also a lot of terrible ways that this could go.
This could go bad.
You might not even know you're in a porn video.
Now, what I think, though, is I think that's definitely a possibility. I mean, I imagine that a high percentage of college kids possibly are in porn videos.
Right.
Possibly without knowing about it.
Yeah.
And some of them do know about it. I mean, what are the odds that somebody could sneak a phone in the room and a lot of these
I don't imagine
college kids are not they don't get to know their partner quite as well as maybe you used to back in our generation.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not talking about like the cocaine 80s. I came after that.
Right.
I'm not that old. But, like the cocaine 90s, then I can relate. But
you can relate.
The cocaine 80s, forget about it.
Oh, that was a terrible decade.
So that's a little scary. And the thing is, realistically, I'm just saying, is even if this alleged facial recognition on porn is not a thing now.
Yeah, it's not long, right?
It's not long. I mean, you can't tell me you don't seriously believe that within 10 years that's going to be a thing.
Well,
we're shaming people for anything, so.
Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, if you're 20 years old or younger, don't do anything, ever.
I would never. You just straight 10 Commandments. Except don't call it the 10 Commandments.
Right, that's also, you can get shamed for that. I mean, 10 years from now, who knows?
Who knows? You're going to prison for that shit.
Yeah, I think that, it's really kind of a dangerous area we're in here with the speed that technology is advancing. I feel like it's advancing faster than we as people and as society are. And I think, like that revenge porn. Have you seen those websites?
I don't watch porn.
There's websites where you can post naked pictures of your ex-girlfriend because she left you.
And, I've done that. Who hasn't done that?
Well, who hasn't done that? It went on for probably 10 years before they started passing laws about it.
Oh, there's laws?
Well, in some states there are.
Then I definitely didn't do that.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. But I feel like we can get ourselves in a lot of bad situations by behaving poorly when we don't think anybody's watching. I know there's, if somebody had recordings of me in my road rage stages, I'd be embarrassed and ashamed of myself a little bit. I mean, I did lose my shit for about 15 minutes just today, like 3 hours ago.
Today?
Like 3 hours ago this happened. But who drives 25 in a 45? Come on.
Were you in handcuffs when you texted me and were like, I'm not going to be able to do the podcast later. I'm not sure how it's going to go from here. Is that what was happening?
They let me out on my own recognizance.
Your own?
Mm-hmm.
You look like a nice guy.
It's the beard.
The beard?
Yeah.
All right.
Only an upstanding citizen would have a beard this luxurious.
I don't know.
But so, just saw, obviously you guys probably know about this more than we do at this point, because you're going to be listening in a couple days, but somebody just lit themselves on fire at the White House.
Oh?
Just a couple hours ago. Still got to figure out the details. We'll see what happens with that.
Get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about setting yourself on fire this weekend, my advice to you is don't.
Yeah. Or if you do, don't let somebody put you out, because you don't want to survive that.
No, that's going to end badly.
Yeah.
The burning is a whole bad way to go, I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
I was going to mention, I don't know if you guys heard me griping last week about Tac Pack.
Yes.
And I was like, well, mine never came, and I'm seeing other people in the group.
Uh-huh.
Well, it turns out, you guys, if you've been listening for like a million years, you'll remember our producer, Ethan, who is setting it all up.
Right.
Well, Tac Pack actually comes to Ethan.
Oh.
Is who it's mailed to. Well, it turns out, all of a sudden, the post office is like, wait, he moved and forwarded his address to Maine.
Oh, so they're sending it to Maine?
So they mail it to my house, and then the postman's like, oh, don't put that in the mailbox. And then he sends it off to Maine. And then I got to wait for it to be mailed back from Maine. And then there's some
What a
kind
disaster.
of blackmail, like, hey, come out and have beers in Maine so you can get
So
your
you can
tack
pick
pack.
up your package.
Damn it!
That sounds awful because
So-
Maine isn't close to anything.
It's the U.S. Postal Service that needs to go down for this, not tack pack.
All right.
So they're off the hook.
They're off the hook today.
And I gotta say, I was a little, excited about what was in that tack pack. So I'm kind of like, I might be driving up to Maine this weekend.
Oh, man.
So, but if you guys want to get cool shit delivered to your door and you don't have problems with your postman
Or your producer.
or your producer trying to steal shit, then you might want to subscribe over at tackpack.com. And if you use the code BADASS, now that's easy to remember because we use that code for like everything here. It just opens doors.
Right.
And you use the code BADASS, you're going to get a free gun cleaning mat. And then they'll mail that out to you separate, and another bonus for knowing Kevin and Chuck.
Right.
Now, you guys also may want to support us by signing up on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon.com/preppingbadass.
That's right.
Or you can just search Prepping Badass in there, or
Yeah.
I don't know
And
what else.
$1
you'd
a
search.
month will get you a patch.
$1 a month gets you a
$5
patch. And we have a patch. You're thinking it's a $5 value?
At least a $5 value.
At least a $5 value.
Because it's
okay.
just the fact that it's passed through my grubby hands gives it at
And
least $3.
I think we're going to have something around the $10 a month mark where they're getting a t-shirt.
Yeah?
I feel like that's coming.
All right.
But that's a few weeks out. So
Yeah,
don't
if you're
get
gonna
don't
donate
sign up
$10,
yet.
Yeah.
That's a commitment.
Email us and let
And
us
if you've
know.
been
that-
giving us $10 a month, we might be able to work something out.
I think so.
We might be able to get something out with you. Unless you live in freaking Australia, Hamish, and I got to mail that shit. Because
And
that's
pay
not
customs.
easy, right? Customs and whatever. I'm going to be like, yeah, it's a letter in there. I don't know.
Some sort of Donald Trump tariff going on. I don't even know what it's going
guys
on
are
anymore.
killing me. So there's that. What else? I don't know if you guys have gone and left a review over at iTunes
Yeah, if you don't have $1, you
No.
can support us
by
just
leaving
as much
a review,
by leaving a
a
review.
5-star review.
5-star review would be nice.
Nice.
If you enjoy our soothing voices
Yeah.
coming in near ear holes every week, then just let us know on whatever your podcast platform is.
Yeah. Now, actually, if you leave the review pretty much anywhere else, I don't even know if we ever see it. I don't even know.
I don't know.
I look on iTunes like every 6 months. I'm like, oh, look, there's one new review.
Yeah.
And, but another thing, maybe you're like, well, you know what? I'm really serious about the Prepping Badass lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have been in our Prepping Badass group on Facebook, you've seen there's some fancy knives
In the
coming
works.
out.
Yes,
in the
sir.
works. Now, they're still 2-3 weeks out, maybe even 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty badass. And what I would say to you is maybe spend a little bit less at the gun store. Now, think like half the amount of money you were going to spend on bullets this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then save that aside so when these knives become available, you might be the proud owner of a Prepping Badass Bowie knife.
What?
Bowie knife, Damascus steel.
They're beautiful blades too.
They're
Seth
beautiful.
did a good job.
They're a
Seth
little
Spin,
little pointy.
Mhm.
They're a little sharp. You got to be careful.
yeah.
Also, some nice like Skinner knives. Maybe you're like bushcraft, outdoor. Now, if you're fighting a bear, you're gonna want the Bowie. Just go all in.
Hands down. Yeah, and there's a record for that.
Oh yeah.
If you ever get attacked by a bear and all you have is Bowie knife,
Yes.
just stab the shit out of it.
Okay.
The record is 17 stab marks in a bear before the guy died.
All right.
So, good luck with that. I hope. Oh, maybe maybe 19 is the lucky number.
19.
But 17 didn't take the bear down. So,
Yeah. Well, 17 didn't take the bear down, but it did get him as a placeholder.
that's right. That's right.
So-
He's right now the champion.
He is the champion. Like, nobody's like, well, that guy. So, all right, that's something there. Maybe you guys checked out, if you go in the Prepping Badass group, or actually our YouTube channel, Search Prepping Badass in YouTube, and you can see the picture of the bear that hangs out in my backyard.
Oh, that's right. You should fuck
He's
him
a
up
big
with
bear.
Chuck, I
I
bet
should
you
knife
could
fight
get
him.
18 on him.
So I actually put out a new video this weekend that's also on our YouTube channel that is like a tripwire alarm. Remember we had just talked about those?
Right.
So, a couple weeks back. So it's like snare wire, and I make it out of these like smoke grenade tops.
Mm-hmm.
You put in shotgun primers, and it just bangs. So the idea is, and I teach you guys how to make them and whatever, you see what I'm talking about. But I set up the trail cam, set up the tripwire and the snare. So I'm hoping the bear is due back. He's been showing up like every 20 days, something like that.
Okay.
So he's due any night now. So I'm ready. The camera's ready. The tripwire's ready. So when he comes over to look for eggs, I'm hoping it makes that like 22 shot noise in his ass.
Uh-huh.
And I'm hoping he stands up and is like, oh, like that. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, there is a chance he's going to like smash the chicken coop and be like, this asshole. And,
just be pissed about
it'll be like an old WWE kind of thing.
Right.
But, I don't know. He might, who knows how it's going to play out. So I'm a little excited to see what happens there. But you can bet, you guys, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel,
you'll find out.
You're going to get that delivered right to your inbox.
Yes, sir.
Or wherever the hell subscribe
I don't
videos
even know how YouTube
go. I don't
goes,
know what
works.
happens really. They're like, watch this shit, or I don't know. Something about I'll put a commercial on it. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I got this week.
All right. Sounds good
We're
to
good.
me.
So with that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
The Survival and Basic Badass podcast is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.